You want me to do a checkout, see how we're doing here? Welcome everybody back after a week off last week, Jim, and we'll find out if the Tigers got rested up. We get everybody healthy, and if there's any rust to get rid of, and the Tigers start through the tunnel now.
Beautiful night for football, Glenn. Tiger Stadium looked very, very fine. The weather is good for football. The fans might think it's just a little bit chilly, but this time of year we start thinking let's keep it dry. Always dry, but we'll know it's going to get cold. But a nice night for football, a nice crowd here, and I think the Tigers are probably hungry for some action. They've been banging away on each other now for a while, as they didn't play last week against Ottawa Hills.
Yeah, I think this is an excellent night. I think they're going to be ready to play football. We'll see. Wauseon, I understand, is going to receive here on the opening kickoff. So we're going to find out right away if the Tiger defense is up to the occasion tonight and ready to play some football. Wauseon comes in tonight with just the 2 victories on the season over Montpelier and Evergreen, but they've been in a lot of ball games. It's a team with not a lot of speed, but it's an improving team. They seem to be getting better and better every game, and the Tigers now will be testing their skills this 8th week of the season. Once again, just a perfect night for high school football. I think we could handle this for a couple more weeks of our regular season, hopefully for 4 weeks of playoff action. Jurassics to kick off. Kickoff's going to be taken about the 16-yard line, across the 20-25. Kicks to the outside, through the middle, out to the 30-yard line where a host of Tigers make the stop. Icky are their 2 go-to backs. Sean Moore will line up at the quarterback position. Give through the middle, that's Jernigan right there, and he gets out across the 34 out to about the 35-yard line. Looks like a gain of 5 on what's going to bring up a second down and 5. We'll try to line up the Tiger defense for you here. Linebackers, you got Silvis and Kern. Over the ball, you got Lindgren, Sharp, Bush, Sattler, and Ziegler on your defensive line. You got corners, you got Sam and Jesse Smith, and your defensive backs are Zeider and Atkinson. Here's a give right up through the middle again. It's Jernigan across the 35. Looks like he's out close to the 38-yard line, where they're going to have third down and approximately 2 yards to go.
Glenn, I think you brought up a good point earlier. The Tiger rushing defense might be just a little suspect, and that's something that they've got to work on hard tonight as they'll face a real test next week against Bryan.
I know this Wauseon offense tested PH early. They were up on PH at halftime, and that's what they did is they ran the football very well. Here's another fullback dive up across the 40. Out to about the 43-yard line, which is good enough for a Wauseon first down. So it appears at this time that they're coming off the ball very well. And once again, I said there might be a little bit of rust with the Tigers having a week off due to the no contest with the Ottawa Hills. But I think they're going to tighten up the chin straps here, and they'll be ready to play some football. Moore under center, drops back, inside reverse, handoff, and not much there. It looks like he goes ahead for a yard. It's a nice call, and mix it up and try to kick it to the outside. All the action was in the middle there, and they kick it on the inside reverse. And Jernigan's stopped short for just about a 1-yard gain.
They did use some imagination on that call, Glenn, and had some motion coming this way. I mean, the pursuit anyway, the Tiger defenders, and bounced that play back the other way.
Joe Allen comes in with the play. from the sidelines, and Jason Stanball, the wide out to left. A little option to the right side, and very well read by the Tiger defense. Ziegler doing a superb job of staying home at defensive end and coming across and forcing Moore to tuck the ball away. Once again, no gain on the play, and we're going to have, we'll call it 3rd down and 9 yards to go.
That was a good thought by the Wauseon quarterback, deciding to keep that ball rather than pitch it. A week ago, or 2 weeks ago rather, we saw the Swanton quarterback try to complete an option that wasn't there a couple times for fumbles that cost him dearly.
You're right, Jim. Allen comes wide left. Moore drops straight back. No pressure on him. Pass over the middle for the first down. He misses one tackle, and he takes the ball down in the Tiger territory inside the 35, down to the 33-yard line, where it's a 1st down and 10 yards for the Indians.
Silvis on the stop.
Silvis in on the tackle there for the Tigers, but not after a long gain for the Indians, so it's going to be a 1st down and 10.
Wauseon got their offense moving on this first drive. They've moved the sticks consistently and have the Tigers back on their heels right now, Glenn.
Mark Emmons seems to be mixing it up nicely here for the Tigers, or for the Indians. More straight handoff up the middle, out across the 30-yard line, maybe just right at the 30-yard line. The Jernigan once again. Appears at this time, Jim, that Jernigan's carried the ball about 8 out of 10 carries, I believe.
I don't know, but they've moved the ball pretty consistently here. Make mention the Wauseon quarterback is left-handed, and whether that's bothering the Tiger defenders just a little bit, that gives them something else to look at, something they haven't seen this year.
He comes in with experience of being their starting quarterback last year. Here's a straight dive to the fullback, and Schnicke's working his, what a workhorse, up across the 25-yard line. He takes that ahead 5 yards, and he's going to bring up 3rd down and a short 2 for the Indians. That Schnicke's a big kid. They got him listed a fullback at 180 pounds, 6'1", 180. Boy, he looks a lot bigger. He kept the legs gone there. 3rd down and a short 2. More under center. Fullback dive straight ahead. It appears that he's got the 1st down near the 20-yard line. They're going to spot that one at about the 21. They have another 1st down and 10 for the Wauseon Indians.
Well, Glenn, Wauseon winning the battle on the line of scrimmage thus far. They're creating holes there, and a nice job of play calling by the Wauseon coaching staff. They're executing well and have the Tigers backed up to their goal line with only about 21 yards to spare.
They've seen something, Jim. They're just going right at the Tiger defense, and it's probably the way to go at it, right through the middle again, and it's Jernigan up across the 15 down to about the 12-yard line. They're going to spot that about the 13, but once again, they're opening big holes on the quick dives right through the middle. Looks like that 0-1 dive is there all night, just the quick hitters, and they're getting the surge off the offensive line and hitting it up quick through the middle. They're showing a full house backfield. Moore sets under center. Off tackle, it's Schnicke, the ball carrying a host of defenders there. May have stopped him. I think he's got enough for the 1st down. Zeider and Silvis in on the stop for the Tigers, but it's enough for another Wauseon Indian 1st down. And the ball's going to be spotted just outside the 10-yard line, where it'll be a 1st down and 10.
I'm sure the Tigers, especially the coaches up in the press box here, wiring down suggestions on how to stop that offensive line surge by the Indians. But at this point, it's been all Wauseon Indians. This first drive is right down there on the 10-yard line, 1st and goal.
I think that Wauseon's probably looking at a ball control game to try to keep the ball on the ground and keep that clock running and keep the ball out of the hands of the Tigers. More on the option. He hands off through the middle. Fumble on the play into the end zone. It's a Tiger recovery. Oh, a big break for the Tigers. He had broken through the line of scrimmage. The ball pops loose. He couldn't get to it. Ryan Zeider comes up with a big fumble recovery. And you know that's happened a lot to the Indians this year. They've turned the ball over inside the 10-yard line. And, boy, that comes back to hurt. What a big turnover.
Oh, Oh, yes, indeed. And Tiger defense got tough when they needed to be. It was right down there. You're going to let them have a touchdown, or you're going to play some hard defense. And ball carrier struggling for that ball, but he was in process of being tackled. But here we go with the Tigers.
That's a terrible feeling, too. Here we got Drostics under center. Hands off to, here goes Smith. He breaks in on the dive. It's one move out. He breaks it. He's off to the races, across the 50, down to the 40, and taken out of bounds right at the 40-yard line. Sam Smith on the first carry from the line of scrimmage for the Liberty Center Tigers. You know, I was telling you, Jim, that fumble back there that Schnicke had through the middle there, that's a feeling that you can't explain it. You see the ball pop right out of your hands, and you just can't get to it. You know, you're struggling and struggling. You see the ball laying there, but Zider came up with a big fumble recovery. And then the Tigers come right back here with a long run by Sam Smith of 60 yards to start off for the Tigers. Zider, the ball carried off the left side. Here goes Zider. He's off to the races. Cuts it back to the middle. Zider down to the 10, inside the 10-yard line. Looks like he's down to about the 7-yard line where we're going to have first and goal for the Tigers. 2 plays, and they're inside the 10.
Oh, no question about it, Glenn. Tiger offense has been there all year for them. They get it going, and they're just something to watch. I think teams are surprised at the Tigers' quickness. They read about it, they hear about it, they see it on film, but until they experience it, they don't know just how fast this Tiger bunch is.
They'll hit you quick, that's for sure. You got Zider and Smith setting the backfield. Atkinson, the wing back. Drosick sets up under center. Here's a straight dive to Sam Smith, and he takes it down inside the 5, down to about the 2.5-yard line, or it's going to be second down and goal for the Tigers. Lining up the Tigers on the offensive side. You got Coey at center tonight. We've got Weshy and Bush at tackles. Jesse Smith and Silvis at the ends. I believe we've got Baum and Ziegler at our offensive guards. In the backfield, we've got Atkinson, Smith, and Ziegler. Drosick sets up under center. Second down goal. Straight ahead to Zider, down inside the 2, close to about the 1-yard line, where we're going to have third and goal from the 1.
Boy, what a turn of events, Glenn. We had the Wauseon Indians right down on the Tiger 10-yard line and just moving the sticks right and left. And they got into a snag when their fine ball carrier lost a handle on the ball, but in just a few short plays later, we're right on the Wauseon goal line.
That's the point that I made earlier with, you want to keep it out of the Tigers' hands because they're explosive. Josick's under center. Ooh, boy, they just barely got that exchange off. Jurowski's was popped. A big hit coming in there by Fogarty. Mike Fogarty, 6'1", 180-pound sophomore, came through from the linebacker position. They're lucky to get that exchange. Fogarty.
Tough defense by the Wauseon Indians. They're not rolling over on this, and it's 4th down and 4 yards to go. So time to come up with something that's going to work for the Tigers.
Oh, do they hit the quick dive here with Smith? They run the reverse with Atkinson. They take it outside. They put it up. 4th and goal from the 4. Fakes, throws in. There's Atkinson. Touchdown. What a well-executed play. Atkinson comes motion, cuts up, a little down out. Drosick does the rollout and just hits him. Just a perfect pass and catch for the Tigers score. With 3:33 left in the first, the Tigers go up 6-0. And once again, the time is a factor. It's not very often there's 3 minutes left and Tigers have their first score, Jim.
That's right, Glenn. Wauseon kept the ball for a long time and got nothing out of it, and we'll see whether they can get back on offense and show some more fine ability to move the ball. But Tigers had an excellent drive there, and that play that scored a touchdown was extremely difficult to defend against. I see the point after is good, so Tigers up 7-0 with 3 minutes and 33 seconds to go in the first quarter. But exciting football from either side of the field at this point.
Yeah, it's we got to see now if the Tigers are going to be able to stop this offense of the Indians. They seem to have really good ball control. Like I said, they ate up probably a good 6-7 minutes off the clock themselves before the Tigers took it over, and Tigers didn't waste any time putting it down there. Just the one stop for the short loss on a bobbled snap and a linebacker shooting through, but they come right back with a beautiful, well-executed pass play to Atkinson for the touchdown.
away to the Tiger 10-yard line, so they're anxious to get a hold of that and feel they can move the ball. And hopefully by now the Tiger defensive coaches have made some adjustments, and maybe they can stuff that running game a little bit.
You're right. Deep for the Indians. You got Fogarty, Weber, and Jernigan. Kicking off for the Tigers once again be Joe Jurasics. It's a squib kick. Ooh, it hit one of the Indians up there close. They're having problems getting on it. They've got a pile. We're going to have to find out who's got the football. They're signaling that Wauseon's got it. It's going to be spotted right at the 30-yard line, I believe. Boy, they didn't seem like they wanted to get on that football in too big of a hurry. And it is Wauseon ball, so they're going to have 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line.
Yeah, good field position for the Indians, and we remember a pretty good offensive mix on their last drive, but good inside running, the drive to open the game, so we'll see what they've got planned.
Scott Sharp goes in at defensive tackle. You've got Ryan Miller at a corner. We've got Cam Smith in the defensive backfield. It's good to see Cam back in. They're going to roll back and pass, straight drop, throws out, and it's going to be overthrown. Tigers put a little bit of pressure on Moore, but Moore's pass was overthrown. Jernigan was his intended receiver along the sidelines, but just overthrew him.
And I'm not sure, but what the quarterback wisely figured, he better waste that one.
I wonder if you see a lot of new faces in here in the Tiger defense already in the game. It's like Baum's in at linebacker. You got motion, Jernigan in motion. Moore straight dive up the middle and nothing there for Schnicke. He gets out maybe 1 yard on the play. So the Indians are going to be faced with a 3rd down and 9 from their own 31-yard line. Kenzie Kern in on the stop for the Tigers. It just makes you wonder how healthy Cam's ankle is. Boy, I hope it's healthy. What a contribution that'd be to this football team, keeping him healthy. Oh, there we got a procedure. You had your wide out down here, Joe Allen, that just jumped across. So the Indians are going to be backing up 5 yards for a procedure call. And they're going to be faced with a 3rd and 14. The ball's going to be back on their 26-yard line. 2:48 remaining in the first. Tigers coming with 2 wideouts to the left. Robinson. You got Jernigan in motion again. Straight drop. West, you playing pressure. They got the screen pass out there. Oh, I think we had a clip and they'll call it. Excellent defense. Good pursuit by the Tigers. Baum was there early. And he got taken out in the back, and then Atkinson comes up to make the tackle for the Tigers. So the Indians are going to be forced with a 4th down and probably about 6 yards to go. And it's going to be a punting situation.
Glenn, I am surprised they didn't continue to run that ball inside. They opted to try to pass the second series, and the Tigers pretty well stuffed them.
Atkinson deep for the Tigers. Oh, a lot of pressure coming in on the punter. He gets off the punt. It's short. And it looks like they're just going to let this one lay down. And it's going to be downed at the 32-yard line. So the Tigers are going to take over with 1:50 remaining in the first on their own 32-yard line.
By the Wauseon Indians, either the Tigers made some tremendous adjustment there, or they just somehow stubbed their toe on the play calling. They tried things that they hadn't tried earlier, and they were pretty successful first time. But we've got the Tigers again.
It makes you wonder if they saw something else upstairs, because they were successful at the run, then they just came out and started throwing the ball around. Drossic's under center. Here's the inside reverse. Atkinson, he gets tripped up by his own lineman, but he still manages to get out across about 2 yards. Like Bush stumbled. Bush appears to be injured. And they're going to have an official timeout. Bush went down. It appeared that he had stepped on his ankle wrong, and he's the one that made the initial contact on the inside reverse.
You know, some of that might be just the rust. These guys haven't had game conditions for almost 2 weeks here, and they're not just as smooth and oiled as if they've been playing every week. But he's hobbling off. Looked like it's not serious. That's good.
I think what had happened is he went back and maybe stepped on the foot of Atkinson, And may have just landed on it wrong, but it's good that he was able to jog off the field there. We got Scott Sharp going in to replace him at tackle. So we've got Sharp and Wauseon at the tackles. Coey still in at center. Ziegler and Baum at the guards. Zyder Smith in backfield. Ryan Miller at the wing. Gives to Sam Smith. They started outside, brings it back in, and it's only going to be good for a couple yards. Across the 35, he's going to be up to about the 38-yard line, where we're going to have a 3rd down and 4 for the Tigers.
Well, Sion doing a lot of jumping there on the defensive line, and I think that sort of would be a bit confusing to the offensive line on blocking assignments and whatnot. So, Sion coming up pretty tough right now, but 3rd and 4 for the Tigers.
That's something that Emmons has always done, the Wauseon coach, and he'll shoot those linebackers off the tackles, and they'll keep you guessing. Here's a direct dive right to Smith, and they're right there again. They're bringing those backers hard. So actually has a loss of about a half a yard on that. So the Tigers are going to be faced with their first punt of the ball game with a 4th down and 5. Then again, it seemed like the Tigers got away from their offense where they were hitting the quick dives up the middle, and they tried to kick it out a few times, and maybe Wauseon made the adjustments necessary. Sean Moore, the quarterback, will go deep for the Indians to return, and Jurasics to punt.
Yeah, just a bit confusing. Both these teams have had very excellent first drives and then stalled out.
Moore takes the punt. He's immediately smothered by Sattler and Sam Smith. So the Indians are going to take over on their own 33-yard line, and that brings the first quarter to an end with the score, the Liberty Center Tigers 7, the Wauseon Indians nothing.
We have a few messages that need to be brought at this time. So, Loen, give us some messages, please.
Sure. We want to mention our business sponsors. We have Pisanello's Pizza in Liberty Center with Craig and Sherry Myers, owners, with their hours Sunday through Thursday, 11 through 9, and Friday till midnight, Saturday until 10 o'clock. Also, Swanton Welding with Norman Connie Zyder, Holgate Metal Fabrication with Jeff and Denise Spangler, the Henry County Bank branches in Napoleon and Liberty Center, Melinda and Holgate. These bank branches really support Liberty Center and all of the Henry County schools with their donations. The bank managers include Bill Wendt, Cindy Overmeyer, and John Brink. We have some other families that also help support the boosters' presence here with the Channel 5, Mark and Lucille Bolick, Tom and Kathleen Badenhop, Randy and Teresa Bossman.
Okay, back to the action. Moore sets up under center, I formation, hands the second back. Oh, Jernigan, the ball carrier, and Sharp is there and finished off by Andy Silvis. Good pursuit by the Tigers there.
Yeah, as opposed to in the very beginning of the season, the Tigers have got some fresh faces on defense and whatnot, and after that Patrick Henry game, I'm sure they keep scanning and thinking, well, how can we get a little stronger here or give somebody a little rest? And it's just good to see a lot of people playing for the Tigers, Glenn.
And also it's good to see Bush back in at the defensive tackle. Moore sets up under, I formation, pitch out, around the left side, Jernigan, the ball carrier, out across the 35, up to 36, 37-yard line, just a gain of 1 or 2 yards. The Tigers, good pursuit once again, coming up across. They're getting the penetration, and there wasn't much to turn it outside there. So the Indians are going to be faced with a 3rd down and 7 yards, long 6. Ball on the 34-yard line.
On the Wauseon scheme of things, that Jernigan is a good athlete. He runs hard, runs strong, and is difficult to tackle. So he represents the Indians well.
Now they're spreading them out. He's dropped straight back. There's some heat. Oh, he just missed on that. He gets the ball off over the middle. They ruled it a catch. I never saw any indication by any of the officials. Evidently, they've ruled it a catch right out the 50-yard line. The ball was tipped a couple times, and it looked like it was a scramble for the ball. But it's good enough for a first down for the Indians. Jernigan stayed right with it there.
Watching that quarterback, I thought he was beyond the line of scrimmage when he threw that ball, but official there pretty close, never dropped a flag, and even though somewhat of a busted play on the end of that, it goes for first down for the Indians.
Spangler in for the Tigers, replacing Wauseon. Looks like he's trying to keep these defensive linemen fresh. Handoff straight through the middle. Jernigan once again out across the 45 to about the 44-yard line. We're going to have a second down and 4 yards to go. Right up the middle again, Jim, for 6 yards. Jernigan seems to be a nice, strong runner.
Yeah, this begins to resemble the first drive right off the opening kickoff that the Indians had. Some runs inside and once in a while a pass, but pretty much try to slice through the interior of the Tigers.
3-back set. Jernigan in the eye. Here's the option. Fake to the fullback. Moore's wrapped up. Is that Lindgren coming across to make the stop? No, I'm sorry, it's Ziegler coming over to wrap up. Excellent play by Ziegler, defensive end. Once again, the defensive end, when they come down with the option, his job is to stay home and hit the quarterback. When he comes down with the option, the corners will come up and take the pitch. Man, it's well covered, and Moore had no other choice to tuck it away. Excellent job by Ziegler. It's important for him to stay home, and one rule of thumb to remember is you've got 10 guys on the inside and nobody outside. So you want to force it up play. A lot of more black jerseys on the inside there. So we got a timeout in the action. I believe Wauseon's called a timeout here with 9:19 left in the first half of play.
Let's keep thinking about Pizzanello's Pizza, downtown Liberty Center. Craig and Sherry Myers, hours just literally all the time. They serve good pizza. It's hot. It's a good time of year to eat pizza, so keep them in mind. Pizzanello's Pizza, they deliver for you.
Okay, Indians back out in I formation. More straight drop. No pressure. Now come pressure coming. He gets the ball up in the air for the duck. Oh, there should have been a flag. No flag. He came up over the back of the defender. The referee was right there. Never made a call on it. If he makes an effort to go for the ball, they're not going to flag it. But that's he got up in the air and he pulled it down. It's going to be a first down and 10 from the just outside the 10-yard line for the Indians. So a big break for the Indians on that, Jim.
Yeah, what a play, Glenn. That was literally anybody's ball coming up there and just bumping, shoving, whatever. But result is Indians right there on the 10-yard line again.
Jernigan in the eye. They give to Schnicke right up the middle. He takes the ball inside the 10 down to about the 7-yard line. So the Indians are going to be faced with, I guess we're going to call it second down and goal from the 7-yard line. I didn't think they got inside the 10, but that's okay. That's going to force them to go the 4 downs here. Zeider wanted that ball. It was a duck. The ball floated, but he just never had an opportunity. The receiver came right up over his back, and there was no way that he could jump up to get to it or get his arms up, and it was a nice catch.
Yeah, the offensive player became the defender in that instance, Glenn.
We got a motion left. Give right to the middle to Jernigan. He's inside the 5, right down to the 5-yard line. We're going to mark it about the 4. So we're going to have third down and goal from the 4-yard line. So the Tiger defense stiffened up a little bit there, Jim.
Yeah, they did. And, boy, Lady Luck seems to be hanging with the Indians now. They've had about 2 passes that I can think of that almost either should have been thrown or should have been interceptions. But somehow, some way, that ball's bobbled around out there and results in huge, huge plays for the Indians. And they're giving the Tigers a real battle at this stage early in the second quarter.
Their second timeout already of the first half.
3rd and 4 on the 4.
Yep, will be 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. And Coach Barrett out there with the defense. What do you think? You think they go with the option down this close? Do you think they're going to put the ball up in the air and surprise? It'd be nice to run an option with the pass in there. Your fullback option, you've got a back or a tight end that you can kick out off of that. But I'll tell you what, the Tigers have defended the option very well, which is good. I'm glad that Wauseon is showing the option because the Tigers are going to be really tested against the option next year with Brian, next week with Brian Hug, the quarterback, and Tim Newell, the leading rusher in the league. But I'll tell you what, it seems like
And as they come to the line of scrimmage, let's see what they do, Glenn.
they're going to go I formation. Schnicke at the fullback. Jernigan the tailback. Here comes the option. He gave the fullback, and he goes into the end zone. What a hard run by Schnicke. He put his head down, and he went right through the Tiger defense. And we've got a 7-6 ball game with 7:49 left in the first half. That was J.D. Schnicke going in from 4 yards out. A nice hard fullback dive off the option.
You know, as we watch this Wauseon ball club, I can't believe they only have 2 victories, and those on teams that were not very strong. But I know they were in other games, at least for quite a period of time, but they look like they have a nice group of athletes, Glenn, and they believe at this point, and they are getting some breaks on some of these passes that really shouldn't go for completions, but it's all even right here, right now at Tiger Stadium.
Josh Erd comes in and adds the extra point for the Indians, so we've got a 7-7 ball game with still 7 minutes and 49 seconds remaining in the half, and we've got to see if the Tigers are going to respond to this real quick right here.
On that clock can and does present a problem for the Tigers, and of course they've got some tough games ahead of them, as you've talked about earlier.
And must wins for the Tigers if there's to be a season after the regular season. Erd will kick off for the Indians. Deep for the Tigers will be Zeider and Smith. Silvis moving back a little bit here with Huff, Ryan Miller, and Ziegler. Well, let's see if the Tigers get the wall set up and get a big return here. Erd kicks a squib kick. Oh, Huff takes the ball, and he had his knee on the ground, so it's a break again for the Indians. Huff, the sophomore, or junior, had his knee on the ground thinking he was going to take off. He did the wisest thing of fielding the ball. The Tigers do have good field position. They're going to get the ball at their own 29-yard line, 28.5-yard line. First down and 10 for the Tigers.
Yeah, you see that so often where a player will, in order to get really in front of it, kind of kneel down to take it. And nope, well, you touch your knee in high school, and that's where the play is dead.
I think the Tigers will put one up and go for a big play right here. They got Jesse Smith split wide out to the left. They're about due to break one open here. Nope, they're going to go straight ahead as Zeider, and he's good for about 2 yards right through the middle. And once again, they're shooting those backers, and they're filling the gaps.
Yeah, at this point in the season, coaches pretty well look and see where talent is and maybe how to stop talent that they run up against, and probably films that you see early in the season about what was the characteristics of the team, you can about throw out the window because they begin pulling all the stops out now, Glenn.
Well, this series, this has been an incredible series of these two teams. Every time they get in, it's a nail-biter. Drossic's under center, straight drop. Here's Smith, and a completion. Oh, what concentration. Gets the ball out across the 40-yard line for the first down for the Tigers. He had that ball sitting between his legs on his lap and just hung on to it to make the catch. He even got some smiles out of the officials on that one, so it's a first down and 10 at the Tiger 40-yard line.
I have an idea, as cool as it is, that ball feels a little bit different to those receivers and, requires a little extra care to hang on that thing.
Smith and Zeider in the backfield. Atkinson split out down here at the lower screen. And a Smith on a dive right up the middle. He's going to be good for about 7 yards, I think, on that carry. Well, there they go right back to the quick hitters and the dives. You know, they spread them out. The linemen are spreading them out, walking them out as far as they can. And that's one way you're going to make those linebackers think before they start shooting through there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. When linebacker commits to a certain hole, he's basically taking himself out of the play if he is not at the hole where the action is, Glenn.
Another thing, these linebackers can't read the guards and go at the guard on a dive play because they're coming right at you. You got to respond really quick. They're packing them in there. There's Drossic's rolling out, getting a block from Ziegler, dumps it over the middle, but he overthrows Atkinson, and they got heat to him. Max McConnell puts the heat into him, 6'3", 183-pound junior. He got those big long arms up in the air and forced him to throw the ball high, and he overthrows Atkinson. Good pressure by the Wauseon defense, and it's going to bring up a third down and 3 for the Tigers.
You have to admire the defensive scheme of things for the Indians. They're just not giving them the same look 2 times in a row, Glenn, and they're really putting some heat on the backfield.
Their stingy defense. The Tigers will wear them down late. I don't know. Here we go. The bobbled snap. Smith gets out across the first down. Gets up across into the territory of the Indians, down into the side to 40, down to about the 38-yard line for a first down and 10. So once again, they go back to the dive, and Smith takes it through for the Tigers.
It's ever apparent the big play capability of the Tiger backs. It looked like Wauseon playing some good defense, but you just cannot help but admire the explosiveness of the Tiger runners, Glenn.
One thing I've noticed, Jim, is you look at the Wauseon defense, and they're packing eight or nine bodies up there about 3 yards from the football. You break that defensive line, and you're off to the races. Here's a student body left. Nice pitch. Atkinson cuts it back, uses his blocks, down inside the 30, across the 25, down to about the 24, 23.5-yard line. Another Tiger first down.
That was a well-orchestrated play. They got to blocking where it needed to be, and Seth took the pitch and moved the ball quite well. And like you said, we're up there on the 24-yard line, about 23.5-yard line, with a little over 5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
First down and 10 for the Tigers. Zyder Smith in backfield. Atkinson in motion. Give to Atkinson right up behind the blocks. Looks like he's good for about 2 yards on that, up to about the 21-yard line. The Tigers will have a second down and 8 yards to go. Now you're seeing that motion come back where they ran Seth in motion the entire first half of the PH game. So successful on getting the ball up through there, and a lot of different options off of that motion.
Yeah, you brought up that PH game, and that was one thing that we kind of stymied in the second half because of a few injuries. We didn't run that motion offense. Look, here you go, Glenn.
Same formation. You got Atkinson in the wing. Fakes, throws out to Atkinson. He's got the catch. He's over the first down marker inside the 10-yard line, and where it goes out of bounds. But it looks like we're going to have a first and goal for the Tigers about the 9.5-yard line. Nice rollout pass by Drossings and good catch and run by Seth Atkinson once again. First and goal for the Tigers. 4:19 remaining in the first half. Clock is running. You know, the Indians' prevent or goal line defense doesn't look any different than what they're doing out here in the field. They just, like I said, they're packing 8, 9 bodies up there every time. Here comes Atkinson around the end. He beats one man, going racing to the corner. He's in for the touchdown. What an effort. He had a man come up, meet him at the 5, and he stretched his 5'8" body into about 6'8" and got the ball into the end zone. Beautiful, well-executed student body around the left side. And Atkinson goes in with 3:53 left in the first half to make it Liberty Center 13, Wauseon 7.
Oh, yeah, Glenn, he used the whole football field there, the whole field. He came over and just did all he could and got the nose of that ball over right in the very corner. So Tigers a little breathing room. Are up by 6 points now, but we've got to get them back on defense and see if they can stop the Wauseon Indians as they line up for the point X.
Jurassic's in to attempt the extra point. Snap is down, kick is up, kick is good, and the Tigers go up 14-7 by a 9-yard run by Seth Atkinson.
Glenn, let's address that situation about the possibility of the Tigers playing in the state playoffs. Now, they didn't play last week, so the way the papers read or what we heard on the radio, I believe we take the average of the combined point total of the 9 games that are played. Last week is not a forfeit, it is just a no contest. And quite understandable as Ottawa Hills only had 13 men to take it muster for the ball game. And their coach initiated the efforts that, hey, maybe we just better kind of call this off. So that was good of Ottawa Hills. And just how does it look now for the Tigers as they think about postseason play, Glenn?
Well, there's no doubt that the Tigers are going to have to win out, but I think that, you know, you take these last 3 weeks, you got a Wauseon, a Bryan, and Archibald. 3 wins there is going to garner a lot of points for the Tigers, and I think that they'll have enough. There's some of the teams up there at Gibsonburg. I don't see them being able to hold on even if they win out. I'm trying to, Oberlin was there, Bucyrus, Winford. I think it looks good for the Tigers. They just, like I said, we got to take one game at a time and make sure that the kids stay focused on that. And we'll see what happens. Here's another squib kick, and it bounces up. It hits Schnittke. Now it bounces back inside the 10. And Jernigan gets it out to about the 15-yard line. Excellent. He drilled that ball hard and low and got a nice bounce off of Schnittke. And Jernigan had to field it at the 10 and got a 5-yard return out to the 15-yard line.
Well, teams have had a little time to adjust to each other, and we'll see if the Tigers can stuff them here.
And we'll see what the Indians do here. We'll see if they go with the run or the pass. That motion top. There's the fullback dive. The quarterback keeps it. And not much running room, but he makes it ahead out across the 25. Out to about the 26-yard line. Nice athletic moves there by Sean Moore, the quarterback. It appeared that the Tigers had him stopped at the line of scrimmage. He just kept pecking away and takes it out for a 9-yard gain. It's 2nd down and 1 for the Indians.
Yeah, that was evidently they feel they have a good option quarterback, because that's just what that was, an option to the left, and he kept it and got some good yards.
I formation, stand ball in motion. Hands off Jernigan right up the middle. He breaks a couple tackles. He's got a 1st down up across the 30 out to the 34-yard line, where it'll be a 1st down for the Indians. Sattler coming in the lineup, replacing Troy Davis on defense. So the Indians are hanging tough here with the Tigers, 14-7. Jernigan once again off left side. He breaks through again. It's still gone up for another 1st down. Ryan Miller comes up to lay a pop on him. Jernigan felt that one. He's a little slow getting up, but not until he picks up another Indian 1st down.
Yeah, they've got a drive going. They started deep in their own territory and have moved the sticks very consistently. And as I watch this Shane Jernigan, he looks like he could play back on anybody's team, Glenn. He runs with authority and speed.
Well, once again, they're replacing bodies in here. You got Weshy and Davis back in the lineup. There we got a flag and may have a procedure on the Indians. Tigers are making a lot of substitutions on the defensive side tonight. That's what we have. We have a false start on the Indians. So that's going to back them up and give them a 1st and 15. Now Ziegler coming back in the ball game. He'll be replacing Troy Davis once again.
Maybe our first penalty, Glenn.
That's, I believe that is the first flag that's thrown. We didn't get our interference call earlier, so. Indians come out in the I formation. Stand ball in motion. Hands off the fullback on the dive. Not much there for Schnittke. Takes the ball ahead for maybe a yard or two. So they're going to be faced with a 2nd down and we'll say a long 13 yards. Spangler coming back out. Weshy had replaced him.
No question, Glenn. I think a week off hasn't helped the Tigers, but they're getting serious about what they need to do, both on offense and defense now.
They're spreading them out here. There's an inside reverse. Jernigan. Tigers are there to stuff it. What an excellent effort. They had Kern came through from the linebacker position, threw him off track, and you had Lindgren and Bush over there and Andy Silvis, a host of Tigers in on the tackle. And the Tigers want to stop that clock and get this ball back with 1:13 left in the half. And the Indians are going to be faced with a 3rd down and 11.
Accuracy thus far.
Have addressed the thought of the Tigers in their 2-minute offense, if we want to say. We've seen many times this year where they've needed some points or wanted to go for some points, and they can put them up in a hurry if the line can protect Joe Jurasic as he drops back to pass, or if they can just pop one. They are with a 3rd and 11 now.
Got Sam Smith back in for the Tigers on defense, Ryan Miller. They're spreading them out. More underneath center. Straight drop. Gets the ball up in the air. Look for the ball. They never saw it. Sam Smith never saw the ball coming. There's another 1st down for the Indians. Smith had never seen the ball coming, never turned around, and he was right on the man, but just never saw it coming.
Yeah.
And
Glenn has perfect coverage on that, but somehow he just never looked for that ball, or else he might have caught the light in his eye and then lost track of the ball. But Wauseon moves the stick, and now they're right down on the 18-yard line.
He was in for brother Jesse on that play. It didn't take long to put Jesse back into the defensive lineup. Here we go, 1st and 10. They've got Jernigan off the left side. Nice tackle by Bush. Zeiter comes up to Phil. Excellent penetration. There, now we've got a Wauseon timeout with 47 seconds left. And now the ball's still in their hands, and it's decision time for the Indians. That's their last timeout, though, so they're going to have to use their time very wisely now. They might try the middle here on maybe a pass or even a run, a draw play, looking into the middle, but they've got to keep an eye on the clock, and then they're going to have to work the out of bounds. They may have to get up and spike to stop the clock. Any incompletion or getting the ball out of bounds will stop the clock for the Indians, and they're going to have to put this drive together very wisely here with no timeouts remaining. Indians set up. They got Schmidt wide to the right. Jernigan goes in motion. Schnicke, the only back. Oh, we got a procedure penalty on the Indians. Well, if nothing else, it doesn't, in this situation, it might not hurt them a lot. They could have seen the set from the Tigers on what the Tigers were showing there. You never want to have a penalty, but if you got another look, you can change your plan now from the sidelines.
That's a good point, Glenn. And a strong-arm quarterback won't have any trouble reaching his receivers. He just gets a little bit more of the field to work with. But, of course, you never want to misfire.
They'll put the ball back about the 22-yard line. 2nd down, 14 to go. Jernigan in motion. Moore straight back. Oh, he didn't have much time. There's the screen set up. Andy Silvas comes up with a beautiful tackle. Beautiful. Comes right through the guard, number 58, runs him over and makes the tackle. And very short, the loss on the play with that, actually, back to the 25-yard line.
Yeah. Oh, what a play by Andy. He was blocked. Actually had a good block on him, but he fought the block and still was able to make the tackle.
Got Indians running in and out. There they go, and they spike the ball quick with 19 seconds left. A lot of confusion on the Indians. They didn't have the substitution in early enough. And now they got a host of substitutions. They got a 4th down. I think they're going to try to pin the Tigers. Oh, they're going to try a long field goal here. The ball's placed on the 25-yard line. The ball will be spotted at the 32, which will be a 42-yard attempt.
Might be a trick.
He didn't seem to have much leg earlier, but we'll see. You never know what's going to happen. I think they're going to go. He gets the ball up, and it's going to be short. So the Tigers will take over. 1st down and 10 to go, and with 13 seconds left, then they'll have to come up with some fireworks here, Jim. We'll see what the Tigers do here. Wauseon, no doubt, will be in the prevent defense. They're going to spread them out. You got Atkinson wide left and Jesse Smith at the top of the screen wide right. Jurassic straight handoff up the middle, Sam Smith, and a timeout for the Tigers. So they take 4 seconds off the clock. Get the ball out out to about the 25-yard line.
Yeah, what about that, Glenn? They just run it up the middle, but then use the timeout. So, how would you explain that play as a former coach, or what do you think's the strategy here?
I think what he was looking at there is if he spreads out, he's got to wide out both sides of the field. They're in a prevent defense, and with the speed that Liberty has, you're spreading out the defense a little bit. And you never know, a quick hitter like that, you break it with Sam Smith or a Zeiter or Atkinson. With their moves and speed, they're off to the races if they break it. And you're going to get out here with a one-on-one, and you could hurt somebody real quick with it. And I wouldn't be surprised if they wouldn't do the same thing here, but I'd like to see Jurassics put one up long here and see if Smith or Atkinson can't get underneath one for a Tigers score here to finish off the 1st half.
You know, all you said is true and makes sense. And how about this, Glenn? The fact that the Tiger offense had been kind of on the sidelines there for a period. Maybe they needed to get a good hit under their belt before they really pull out all the stops and go for the big one. But 9 seconds to go. Maybe we'll see something.
I think my biggest concern there is if Rex is going to get off the field in time. Jurassic sets under center. Straight drop. Looks, puts the ball up. Smith runs underneath it. Ooh, just about came up with it. It's incomplete, and you still got 2 seconds left.
Yeah, Glenn, that was one of those. You got it, I got it. No, and ball finds the finds the turf, but Jesse Smith had a good chance at that ball, and it would have been a near miraculous reception if he would have hung on to it. But anyway, they've got 2 ticks yet.
You know, you talk about the speed of Jesse Smith, and we're not overriding it. It's unbelievable. When he threw that ball, I thought he threw it away. I thought he threw it 15, 20 yards out in front of anybody. And here Smith comes right down to it and had it right in his hands. Here's your quick hitter. That's Cam Smith. He hits it off right side, just as we mentioned earlier. He's off to the races. Oh, what a run to end the first half. Just what we were talking about earlier, Jim, is you spread them out, and you break them, and take off for the races. Heck of an effort by Cam Smith. Gets the ball out across midfield, but time runs out.
we prepare for the second half, there's a few messages that we should get across here now. Sponsors for the Channel 5 broadcasts bringing you this Tiger football. There's some that we ought to make you aware of again. Once again, when you think pizza, think of Pizzanella's Pizza, downtown Liberty Center. Craig and Sherry Myers with hours Friday till midnight, Saturday till 10, and Sunday through Thursday their hours 11 till 9. Let's remember B.A. Miller Trucking for all your trucking needs, supporting the Liberty Center Tigers now, then, and always. Of course, there's Swanton Welding, Norman Connie Zeiter. There's Holgate Metal Fab, Jeff and Denise Spangler. There's the Henry County Bank with branches in Napoleon, Liberty, Molina, and Holgate. The Bill Wendt, Cindy Overmeyer, John Brink. Of course, all these businesses support the LC Tigers and really all Henry County schools. On the individual list, we've got Mark and Lucille Bolick support, of course, the cheerleader daughters Tiffany and Lee. Tom and Kathleen Badenhop support all the Tiger effort, including cheerleaders Jill and Monica Badenhop. Randy and Teresa Bosselman support cheerleading squad and daughters Lindsay and all the Bengal boys. So let's remember these Tiger boosters that contribute so that these games can be brought to you. We're just about ready for the second half, Glenn, and certainly it's been a very entertaining first half. The score, Tigers 14, Wauseon Indians 7, and just very entertaining, and we look forward to 2 more quarters of good ball. They've had time to make some adjustments, and let's just see what will develop.
Here's the kickoff, another squib kick. Well, Tigers letting it roll a long ways, and Sam Smith is going to pick it up. He's out across the 30, 35, out to about the 38-yard line, where he's stopped by Jason Stambaugh. Coey back in at center. Ziegler Baum at the guards. Weshy, Bush at tackles. Silvis and Jesse Smith at your ends. Zeiter, Sam Smith in the backfield. Fake, pass, over the middle. Got Zeiter wide open and out across the 50 down to the Wauseon Indian 45-yard line, where it's a first down and 10 for the Tigers, Jim, and they come out throwing to start the second half.
They did, and there was some very cleanly run patterns. Other receivers appeared open there too, so we'll maybe see the Tigers really loosen it up.
They seem to be pretty conservative, like they just wanted to come out and go through the fundamentals the first half. We'll see what the Tigers do. They got Jesse Smith wide out the left. Atkinson in the wing. Smith and Zeiter in the backfield. Straight handoff. Oh, their backers are there to hit Smith, and he goes nowhere. A host of Indian tacklers in on that. Led by Spangler, number 9. And Wise. And Moore comes up to fill. Well, you got second down and 11. Actually, a loss of 1 yard on that. So once again, the Indians are shooting those backers right through the gap. Maybe another passing situation. You never know. They're going to catch you off guard. Maybe a quick hitter to break it wide open. There's a pitch out left side. Good block out there. And he gets up, cuts it up, looks for like a couple yards. To get it back inside of 10, it looks like it's going to be a third down and 9, Jim.
Yeah, that was Ryan Zeiter on that pitch, and you just wonder if that's designed to be broken outside. It looked as though there was a block out there to kind of seal that in back toward the inside, and just a couple quick steps around the outside, and he might have been gone.
Yeah, he may have committed to take that inside step just a little bit early. Third down 9, ball's on the 43-yard line of the Indians. Atkinson wide right, Smith wide left. Drosick, straight drop, back to pass. Got some heat. There's a screen to Atkinson over the middle. Got the puck, kicks it to the outside. 30, down to the 26-yard line. First down for the Tigers. You've been waiting for that. That's that screen that they run right across the middle. It sets up nice. And they let them come in. Just that little look in, they let the defense come in. It's designed to let the pressure come, and it opens that middle wide open.
Yeah, and Seth didn't have much time to stand there and Relly's catching that ball. He had to be moving because the defenders were closing fast, but he made the most of it and moves the sticks for the Tigers.
First down and 10. Ball on the 27-yard line. Here's a handoff to Smith up the middle, inside the 25, down to about the 22-yard line. A gain of 5 there for Smith off the right side, Sam Smith.
Thinking about the play calling this first drive of the second half has been pretty imaginative, Glenn. They've mixed it up. They haven't just tried to run it down their throat. They've been trying several things and executing quite well because the plays are there.
Like I said, I think Coach Lindgren is, wanted to be conservative, didn't want to show a whole lot this first half, and he's got himself in a little bit tighter ball game, but the Tigers seem relaxed, and they're using a lot of offense here. Here's a handoff. No, it's keeper by Droskis. Nice cutback. Takes the ball down inside the 15. It's good enough for another Tiger first down. An excellent fake. Puts the ball in, pulls it back out, and keeps it around the right end, and cuts back for another 5 yards. He's going to take it down to about the 14-yard line where you're going to have first and 10 for the Tigers.
Oh, yeah, Joe Jurasik's a very mature senior quarterback, handling that ball quite well. Knows when to put it in, take it out, and can run with it.
Double tight end for the Tigers. Zyder, Smith. Here's pitch out Zyder around the left side. Good block by Smith. He cuts it up inside. He's into the end zone. Beautiful block by Sam Smith on the end, coming across hard. Picks up the block. Zyder reads it, takes off to the inside, cuts it back. Really untouched. Beautiful run from, what do we have, 14 yards out. So the Tigers hit early here to take it up 20-7 with 8:35 left.
Yeah, Glenn, I don't have the play count on that drive, but Tigers mixed it up very well and just essentially did what they wanted to on offense and put another touchdown on the board here, their first possession of the second half.
You know, it was wide open on the outside. I think Ryan likes the contact. Jurasik's kick is up and good. So the Tigers, with 8:35 remaining in the third quarter, go up 21-7 on a 14-yard scamper by junior fullback Ryan Zyder.
Glenn, we've seen the Wauseon Indians move the ball quite well on the Tigers a few different times and stall their drives for one reason or another, and I'm sure the Tiger coaching staff would like a 3-and-out here by the Indians. So we'll, as you say, see if the Tigers have made a few adjustments and sort of know what to look for on this Wauseon offense as they begin their first possession of this second half. But the Tigers up 21-7.
We'll see if Jurassic squibs this again. Last kickoff seemed like he squibbed somewhat, and it was hard for the Indians to handle. They've got Jernigan deep, along with Fogarty and Weber. Jurassic's to kick for the Tigers. Another squib kick coming over the right side. They're not in too big of a hurry to field, and the ball's still on the field. I think the Tigers, Jesse Smith, races down and covers the ball up on the 16-yard line of the Indians. They just stood around like they didn't know what to do. And Jesse Smith, with his speed, hustles down and wisely gets on the football. And this is a big turn right here, Jim.
Oh, yeah. I can't say enough about special teams, and that was a rather long onside kick, if you want to say that. But these squib kicks that kind of dribble and bounce and line drives and bounce off of people, they've given the Indians fit all night with that. And as we look toward the end of the season, it looks like the Tigers are perfecting something here that at times could pay big dividends.
Robinson, number 84, just seemed to watch the ball just go along the ground, and Smith was coming in hard. There's a flag, a quick flag. Zyder goes around the right side, tucks it up to about the 15-yard line. Looks like an early flag and illegal shifting on the Tigers. So we're going to be playing this one over with a first down and 15.
Getting back to that kickoff, Glenn, the way Jesse Smith went down there, it's as if he knew exactly where that ball was going to be, and he just decided, hey, that's mine. And sure enough, he just zeroed in on that and puts the Tigers in just super field position, and this could be a backbreaker. If the Tigers go ahead and score now, that would put them up pretty substantially at this point.
Once again, the discipline of the kids on your special teams on kickoff, you've got lanes that the kids are assigned to, and he's disciplined enough to stay in his lane and follow it out, and it pays off. There's a fake pitch. Drossix rolls out. It's got a receiver right over the middle, and it's a catch. Silvis down inside the 10, down to about the 6-yard line. Good enough for another Tiger first down, so it'll be first and goal from the 6. Beautiful rollout, another good fake. Drossix buys himself a lot of time with the good fake. Finds him right over the middle for a first and goal from the 6-yard line.
Oh, yeah, Glenn, excellent blocking out there to give Joe a little time. Chris Baum and Derek Ziegler providing some protection over there when Joe needed it.
Tigers line up, Atkinson in motion. Here's a pitch right. Zider cuts it back in, inside the 5, down to about the 2-yard line. Once again, he cuts it back early and puts the head down and takes it down to, we'll call it the 2-yard line, where you're going to have second and goal from the 2.
I think Tiger offensive line looks crisp and clean in what they're trying to do. They're focused, and they know their assignments, and they're executing in this drive.
Once again, we'll mention those Tiger linemen. You've got Coey with the start at center tonight, doing an excellent job over the ball. Ziegler and Baum at the guards. Bush and Weshy at tackles. Smith and Silvis, double tight end. Zider and Smith in the backfield. Accent the wing. Straight drop. Looks. Oh, he's got him in the corner. What a beautiful touch. Nice play. Silvis just releases from the tight end. 2-step drop. Puts the ball up on a timing pattern. And it's another 6 points for the Tigers. And now they're striking early and often.
Yeah, we've seen some good quarterbacking this year. And, of course, 2 weeks ago we saw Brian Heber just have an excellent job quarterbacking the Patriots. But that play right there, we haven't seen one run any smoother. I mean, you talk about the quarterback and the end being in concert on that. That was laid out there just perfect, and, of course, he was open, and another score for the Tigers.
Drossix to attempt the extra point, and once again it's up and it's through. And with 6:54 remaining in the third, another Tiger touchdown makes it Liberty Center 28 and Wauseon 7. Well, that turnover on that kickoff, that paid off big for the Tigers. But like, I want to get back to what I was saying earlier, that the kids they know that they have lanes, that they have to stay in their lanes to stop your kick reverses, your returns, your wedges, anything. And they have to be disciplined to stay in those lanes. And Jesse Smith couldn't have done a better job of staying in his lane, which was in about 5 yards. And you're going to have your speed on the outside. And he stuck in that lane. He just outran the kid to the ball once the kid realized I better get on it. But it was too late. Jesse had it scooped up and gave us that first down on the 17-yard line of Wauseon. And just about half dozen plays later, the Tigers got another tally on the board.
Just who are our coaches and what are their responsibilities if there's a moment here?
We've got head coach Rex Lingerun. We've got Terry Miller, who's got defensive backs, offensive backs, along with Jeff Jurassics. I believe Jeff has the same responsibilities. Scott Barrett, linebacker coach. Tim Spees is defensive coordinator. Another squib kick out. Another hard time handling it. The host of Tigers on top here, but I think Wauseon, he just, Schnicke was able to handle this one. So they're going to have it first down on about the 34-yard line. Getting back to the Tiger coaches, you've got Tom Moeller, who helps out with the defensive ends, I believe, defensive backs. Tim Spees has done a super job with our line play in the last couple years. L. Wyrock, trainer and coach. Norm Zider, another one of our graduates that's come back to help the program very successfully. Ron Schimming, volunteer coach. Rob Myers, who's a freshman coach. There's a carry up the middle for the Indians, and it's only going to be good for about a yard and a half. I believe that was Jernigan, the ball carrier, once again. He's a workhorse for this team, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. Wauseon now clearly behind 3 touchdowns here. Let's see if their offense can mount something. They've had a couple real good drives against the Tigers, but for one reason or another have been thwarted. But Tigers fired up now, and their big play offense have really come out well oiled in the second half.
There's a handoff to the second man through, and I'll tell you what, host the Tigers there once again. I don't know how you call a tackle on this one. I see Sattler and Lindgren. We'll call him as they unpile. Silvis there again, a super defensive play. Kern, just a host of Tigers in on that play. The run isn't there the second half so far. They stuffed that. You got third down to long 8 for the Indians. Probably, I would guess, a passing down for the Indians.
I think the coaches can take a bow for keeping this team focused and having that long dry spell since they played a game. And this team is back to what it ought to be.
Moore takes a straight drop, gets some pressure, throws it low. I don't know. They're going to call it completion, which will be long enough for the first down. It appeared that the ball took a quick hop, but they're going to call that a completion over the middle. That was Joe Allen, the receiver. It's good for about 12 yards and a Wauseon Indian first down. Indians split out Schmidt. Oh, here's another rollout. Moore gets the ball up. Got a receiver right over the middle. Kern and Zeider there on the tackle for the Tigers. That was Robinson on the reception. That's another first down for the Indians. They got to get some heat on the quarterback, Jim.
Yeah, and at this point, it seems like those Wauseon receivers are getting quite a bit of cushion out there. I mean, they're open for a nice bit of time, and Wauseon quarterback can put some mustard on that ball. He's a good left-handed thrower.
They're sending out a lot of receivers. Now you're going to have trips out to the right side. You've got Allen, Schmidt, Jernigan's out there, and they try to run Schnicke right through the middle, and he's just going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Silvis leading the head tackle, Scott Sharp, Kenzie Kern, Sattler, another host of Tigers in on that tackle. They've pretty much taken away the running game so far this second half, but they, like I said, we've got to get some heat back to the quarterback, and Moore can't have that much time to look with sending out as many. They're sending out almost every back on a pattern along with their ends.
I think no question the Tigers are more crisp this second half. I believe they've shaken off the rust from the inactivity.
And you look at 3 receivers at the top of your screen, only 1 setback. Gets the ball up again, and it's nearly intercepted. Off the pads of Allen. Jesse Smith was there on defending and just about came down with an interception. So the Wauseon Indians are going to be faced with a third down and 9 yards to go on the Tiger 40-yard line.
Hit his target, but through his hands, and Tigers almost an interception on that play.
Once again, Schnicke's the lone back. Moore's going to drop straight back. There's a little bit of heat. They got him, and it's a sack. You got Stigler, Lindgren, and Wesche all in. That's a lot of beef. Yeah. If you're going to send 3 guys in, you're going to and put on a quarterback. That's nice when you get that much heat and put that much weight on him when he's on the ground.
Oh, that's always the answer to a real good passing game. If you give that quarterback too much time, and he can maybe possibly find a receiver, but you put heat on him like that, he gets one little glimpse, and then he's got to duck or else run for his life. So good heat by the Tigers.
This Schnicke's quite an athlete. I see he's doing the punting duties. What a big kid for a sophomore. Gets off a nice punt, end over end. Takes a good hop for him. That ball's going to be down inside the 10-yard line, down to about the 8-yard line where the Tigers will take over first down and 10. I think that's somebody you're going to hear of in the future.
For the Indians to toughen up as, say, the next season rolls around.
Bryce Jernigan's another one that'll return to this team next year. Drossic sets up under center. Rolls out. Nobody there. There's a safety. Yes, they got him on the sack. I don't know what they're thinking there. On the drop, he had receivers flying down the field, but the protection, the pocket just broke down, and Drossix is dropped for a safety. And now the Tigers are going to be forced to punt or kick back to the Indians after that safety. I don't know. Well, they're placed inside the 10-yard line, and you can question the call. You know, they're probably looking at Liberty to punch it out of there, and you think you're going to catch them off guard, but the protection in the pocket just broke down, and they're there again to get the pressure on the quarterback and come up with a big sack.
other team pinned on their goal line, sometimes they just summon up a little more energy or whatever. They dig deep, so to speak, and true enough, they pinned the Tiger quarterback in his end zone, and now we'll get the ball right back.
But again, the way they've been covering the kickoffs, maybe they think they can hang one up and utilize the speed to get down and cover this and force a turnover.
Yeah, I doubt whether coaches ever like to think in terms of, well, in case we get a safety on us, what we'll do. So this is probably as close to a play that's maybe not practiced as anything they have, but does appear to be a punt.
Drastics will punt, and they're going to take the ball. They're going to get it at midfield, and he punts it out of bounds down to the Wauseon 45-yard line. There's a flag on the play. I think you may have a procedure on Liberty Center. It's on the opposite side of the field. So let's hold everything here and find out what we have. I think 5.5-yard line, first down and 10. Two-back set, I formation. Schnicke and Jernigan. Here's the option to the fullback, and once again, Ziegler's right there in the quarterback's face, and the defensive line, Bush and Wesche right there to fill along with Lindgren. And he's up, gets up ahead for a couple yards, or maybe just a yard on the carry, and it's going to be second down and 9.
Yeah, Tiger defender there, the first guy there to make the hit, almost took the handoff. So real excellent penetration there by the Tiger line.
That's why it's important on that option for that end to hit that quarterback. Force the turnover. Here's a pitch out. Jernigan's looking back to throw it back. He's got the catch. Bush there. Oh, Silvas, he's cutting back cross field. What a run by Moore. He's still moving. Jernigan's down on the field, and he's not going anywhere. He lost yardage on this. This is like a cross-country run. They throw a pitch out with a quarterback throwback. Moore fields the ball. He runs and runs and runs. He's winded. Jernigan was slow getting up on the other side of the field. I think Moore ran that ball back and forth, and finally a host of Tiger defenders finally pile on for the stop and a 2-yard loss.
Oh, yeah, you got to admire the grit of the quarterback. This avenue seemed plugged, but a lot of yards, but nothing forward to speak of.
I think Jernigan went out after that play. They got some new white jerseys in there for receivers. Here's the Tigers getting some pressure on him again. He gets the ball off and overthrows it. Good pressure. Kenzie, Kern, and Spangler right on top of the quarterback as he releases the ball. And no chance for him to get that off, and they're going to be forced with a fourth down and 11, and the Tigers going to get the ball right back, Jim.
Yeah, it appears as that safety didn't hurt him a whole lot then. Tiger defense rose to the occasion and essentially stymied any effort the Indians made to move the ball. So it is a fourth down and 11, and they're going to kick the ball from about the 45-yard line.
Well, a little razzle-dazzle there 2 plays ago with the throwback. Have they got any fake punts in their playbook? Schnicke gets the punt off. Line shot punt, a lot of pressure. Should be able to field this one. They're going to have to field it. Takes it at the 10. Out across the 15 to 20. The 25. Out of bounds about the 26-yard line. Is Seth Atkinson on the return. They're going to mark that at the 24. They think he stepped out back there a couple. So the Tigers are going to take over after a 14-yard return by Atkinson out to the 24-yard line, first down and 10.
Yeah, Glenn, a minute and a half to go in the third quarter, and Tiger offense this second half has appeared well-oiled and focused. So let's see what they do. Wauseon Indians playing hard, but overmatched at this point.
We'll see what their defense is doing. And they're backed off a little bit. They're not putting as many bodies up tight. 2-back set. Handoff off the right side. Smith tries to break it to the outside, and I'll tell you what, it's good defensive play. Number 45, Max McConnell, plays off a block, the one man to take out of the play, and they couldn't do it. Smith gets the ball out across the 25 to about the 26. Gain of 2 on the play. 1:05 remaining in the third quarter, and the clock is running. Second down and 8 for the Tigers. Ball into 26-yard line. Cam Smith into the Tiger backfield at fullback for Zeider. Maybe a quick hitter up the middle. Uh-oh, mishandled ball again by the Tigers. I think they turned this one over down. Yes, it is. Wauseon football. The Tigers are getting sloppy here, Jim. They had a guard pulling out that hit the ball or just one of those backers coming across that fast. But he pulled out from center to go for a quick pitch, and the ball was gone.
Yeah, nevertheless, the result is a turnover there that gives Wauseon Indians a ball on just about the Tiger 11-yard line. Cam Smith tried hard to get that ball. He had to kind of dive for it. It was about 6 yards away and couldn't get it. He was swarmed over by Indians, so here they've got a chance.
The Tigers self-destructing here. You got Twins to the right, top of the screen. They're looking right through the middle. A fake handoff, keeper by Moore. He gets down inside the 5, taken out of bounds by Zeiter. Down about the 4-yard line, where you're going to have second down and 2. Second down and 2 for the Indians. So Moore has the keeper on that. Davis in at defensive end on this side for the Tigers, along with Bush. Second man high back through. Jernigan, the ball carry. He's down close to the end zone, and he's in for the Indians. So with 35 seconds remaining in the third quarter, the Indians put it across to make it 28-15.
Glenn, you have to admire the efforts of the Wauseon Indians. They came to town clearly overmatched on statistics, and even now on the short end of a 28-15 score, but they've played hard every step of the way, and a few bright spots, no question. The Indians have got things to cheer about.
Josh Erd puts up the ball up through the uprights for the Indians, and with 35 seconds remaining in the third, we've got a 28-16 ball game.
There's just 12 points separating these two teams, and there's a full quarter of football to be played. And we've seen how fumbles and interceptions and anything, turnovers, if you will, can play a big part in things. So Wauseon Indians fired up, and Tigers are going to have to mount some offense and put a score up.
Watch the Patrick Henry film. I'd definitely be looking at it. Tigers with their regular receiving team in. Erd to do the kicking. He's going to squib this one again. It's handled by Huff. Huff's not going to go. He's just going to go to the side. He's going to go ahead for about a yard, get it out to about the 39-yard line where the Tigers will take over, 1st and 10. Well-handled ball by the junior receiver. Quarter, the Tigers are going to take over, 1st and 10. Ball's on their own 39-yard line. Drossick sets under center. Oh, they got the Indians to jump on that one.
On offsides, make them a little nervous as they get into that gambling style defense where they shoot the linebackers.
Like you have both the Smith brothers in the backfield now. Atkinson in the wing. Jesse Smith split down to the right. A little bit of movement. Looked like the right tack now and start all over again. Wesley a little bit anxious on that one.
Now, Glenn, when you think that the Tigers haven't played, as we've alluded to, for 2 weeks under game-type conditions, under the pressure of trying to do everything right, might be making a mistake or two here, but still a lot of football to be played. 28 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Drossick straight ahead. Cam Smith out to midfield, out to about the 49-yard line. This is, I believe he's got enough for the first down. It looks like they're going to have to measure for this one. Yeah, we'll call it second down in inches. Appeared that his ankle seemed pretty healthy on that, Jim. Just wonder how long, he's been able to have the therapy in that to make that ankle get back to normal.
Because when you talk about first step explosiveness, Cam Smith is it. And he plays hard and wants to be out there with his brothers and making things happen. And that's a nice thing about the Tigers. However their fortunes are going on a given period of the game, they have big play capability. We've seen that throughout the season and expect to see some of that yet tonight.
You're right, Jim. I don't think there's anybody that can keep Cam out of this football game any longer. One of the misfortune is senior year, early in the preseason, one of the scrimmages, he blows out the ankle, tears ligaments in it, and then he comes back in the PH game. He gets to start there thinking that he's healthy and blew it out again. But you can see he's wearing the splint on it. But he appears to be 100% tonight. He looks really strong. And he could help this Tiger offense and defense out tremendously. What an athlete. So we'll start off the fourth quarter here. 12 minutes to go in this contest. Tigers leading 28-16. We got second down and inches for the Tigers. Sam and Cam Smith in the backfield. Here's a pitch. Cam cuts it back across. He's got the first down for the Tigers as he crosses the midfield stripe and puts it into Wauseon Indian territory. First down and 10 for the Tigers.
To regroup, the ball sets just over the 50-yard line, and just about a full quarter of football to play.
Zeider back in the backfield for the Tigers, replacing Cam Smith. Zeider and Sam Smith. Zeider the ball carrying a pitch to the right, and he stopped. Nice shot. Linebacker Scott Spangler coming through and making the tackle. Nice wrap up by Spangler, and that's a loss on a play of about 3 yards. Second down and 13 for the Tigers.
Yeah, Glenn, you can just see this Wauseon defense really being fired up. I mean, they know they've got a chance or have been able to stop the Tigers on occasion before tonight, so they're playing hard.
Now they had the 9 unanswered points there with the touchdown and the safety. Drossic's under center, two-back set. Straight ahead, Zeider. Out across the 45, down to about the 44-yard line, where you're going to have third down and probably, well, they're going to mark it just across the 45. We're going to call it third down and 5. Oh, a nice 7-yard run there by Zeider right through the middle.
Oh, that was good power football. A lot of the black jerseys were 8, 9 yards downfield sustaining their blocks, and that's what gets it going. And Zeider, nice carry there.
You can almost see what the plan was there. They'd knock it outside twice, then they come right back with a quick hitter up the middle, spreading them out a little bit here. Now the Indians are packing it in again. They've got 9 ball players right up there within 3 yards, and Atkinson just loses his footing there on making his turn. As the Indians come up, just feet went right out from under him. Even the lead blocker, Zeider, had slipped on that play. Looks like the Tigers are going to be forced to punt here at midfield with a 4th down and 8. Well, we can punt the ball here, Jim, or is Rex going to come up with one of his fakes? I like to see how Drossic's always looking sidelines like, well, what do you want me to do, coach? A long count. There's the fake right through the middle, but they're there. They stuffed that for no gain whatsoever. They were looking for that all the way. What a nice defensive effort. Number 74, Tyrone O'Brien, comes up, makes the stop right at midfield, and Wauseon's going to take over 1st and 10 with
to live with them. So we'll see what develops, but Wauseon Indians fired up, and as you mentioned, they've scored the last 2 times.
High back. Jernigan right through the middle. He's good for 3 yards right up through the middle. They had a miscommunication in a defensive backfield. Looked like Zeider had 2 receivers out there on the left side. Miscommunication. I'm sure they saw that up top, and hopefully that's not going to happen again because Wauseon could have seen that one. They're going to split them out here again. See Allen and Schmidt. Jernigan, top left. Handoff right. Nope, he fakes handoff. He's in trouble, and he's sacked. He is sacked. He faked the fullback dive on the option, and Troy Davis and Baum, Silvis, Lindgren all in on the stop for the Tigers on that. Nice defensive play.
Oh, that was good pursuit. Looked like the play was already gone by with the fake, but no, sir. Tigers had to stay right with that quarterback spinning back there and ends up for quite a loss. So it's 3rd down and almost 12 yards to go. So Tigers being stiff.
We'll call it 3rd and 12. 1 back set. That's Schnicke. Moore drops straight back in the pocket. He's getting heat again. Troy Davis. And Kearney gets the ball off. It's complete. And boy, he's popped out of bounds by 2 Tigers, Zyder and Sam Smith. But he got the pass off and moved the sticks ahead. He's going to have about a 4th down and 5, I would guess. Now what's Wauseon do? Trailing 12 points with 8:17 remaining in the 4th. And they bringing in another receiver with the play. That's Robinson coming in. Tigers have to be disciplined here, Jim, on a long snap count. 4th down and 5. You don't want to jump and give them 5. Got to make sure. 3 receivers wide. Nope, they go quick count. Get some heat on him again. Force him out of the pocket. More throws. It's, they're going to call it in. No, they call it a catch. Jernigan makes the catch inside the 35 down to about the 34-yard line. It took a long time for him to call it, and there's a flag. You might have roughing the passer. Yep, you got personal foul on the Tigers. And right in the vicinity of where the passer was. So you're going to tack on 15 after the play here. The big penalty for the Tigers.
There was a lot going on that play, Glenn, and passer had to scramble to buy himself a little time, but indeed he had some time. But I'd almost like to see an instant replay of that reception out there, because looked to me like that ball must have been bouncing along the ground, but they called it a catch, and they also called it roughing the passer, as you mentioned. And so this is going to move the Wauseon Indians right down there to the 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
Just inside the 20, we'll call it 19. Roughing the passer is the call. 1st down and 10 for the Indians. Tigers going to have to tighten up the chin straps now. 1 back set. Schnicky, Jernigan coming from the wing in motion. Straight drop by Moore again. Fires out. He's got the receiver. And not much, maybe a gain of 4 on the play. Nice defensive play by Jesse Smith. That pass was completed to Robinson, the tight end. He's going to give him 2nd down and 6 yards to go.
Wauseon quarterback delivered a nice strike there. It was well defended by Jesse Smith, but he saw just the seam and got that ball right in there.
Again, 3 receivers out to the left. Schnicky, the lone setback. Moore hands off right up through the middle to Schnicky. And he pounds the ball down close to the 10. We're going to call it about actually only about the 12 and a half yard line. They're going to be faced with a 3rd down and 3, long 3. Ball's on the 13-yard line.
Keep in mind the Tigers up by 12 points with about 6.5 minutes to play. But Wauseon right down there close.
Now they go back to the I formation. Schnicky and Jernigan lined up behind Moore. There's the option. Fullback dive right over the left side. He's got enough for the 1st down inside the 10, down to close to the 5-yard line. So we've got a 1st and goal for the Wauseon Indians at the Tiger 5-yard line. Bomb in for the Tigers for Sam Smith. Well, looks like we're going to load up on the backers here and stuff it up close. Full house. Schnicky again, and seems to be the workhorse now. And Schnicky pounds it inside the 5. He's down close to the 1-yard line. Wauseon they've got all kinds of momentum, Jim.
You're right. That safety occurred, and ever since that time, Wauseon's just been playing excellent football on either side of the ball. Now they're down there right on the 1-yard line. So
Tigers appear flat. Here's a full house offense. Moore keeps it himself. We got one of the Wauseon players signaling touchdown, but no indication from the officials. It'd be a late call now if they did call it. You're going to have 3rd down and goal, and you're on about the 6-inch line. 3rd down and goal. Look for him to probably go with the same thing here. Like I said, Schnicky's been the workhorse down inside the 10-yard line. But remember, earlier they turned the ball over, gone to the backs. So I think a wise move would be more just to goose the center and go behind him. They're going to hand off at Schnicke. Boy, I don't know. Oh, okay, he's in. He's got enough for the touchdown. So the Indians are on the scoreboard with exactly 5 minutes remaining. The score is 28-22 with the extra point coming up.
And shows by both bands, and the football teams have really played hard. Extra point is blocked. Extra point is blocked by the Tigers, so it remains a 6-point game, 28-22. Tigers with 5 minutes to go.
I guess Kenzie Kern that came through and got that. You know that's big. That's a 6-point difference, which would have made a 5-point game, and now you've got a 6-point difference. That could play big unless the Tigers pick it up here and get some momentum. Because flat after a big second half start.
They have, Glenn, and this Wauseon football team has got a lot of talent on their side of the ball, even though their record doesn't indicate they would be this tough. But as you alluded to before the game even started, Wauseon and Liberty series goes way back, and there is a lot of football games that go down to the wire, and it almost seems as though the records go out the window when these two teams play, and what a game here tonight.
If you remember last year, Jim, over at Wauseon, an outmatched Wauseon team that shouldn't have had any right playing with Liberty takes the game to 13-12 in the closing seconds and goes for a 2-point conversion when Zeider made the stop to keep him out of the end zone, and the Tigers escape from that one with a 13-12 victory. And this isn't lining up to be any different than what that was. Tigers still don't have their hands team in either, just a regular receiving team. So Wauseon, I believe, is going to kick it away. They'll probably squib it, though, yet. No, they got it. It's going to take a funny bounce. Going to have to be careful handling this. Sam Smith's got it. Tuck the ball away. Boy, he's carrying it awfully loose. I wish they'd tuck that away. He breaks it to the outside on the reverse. He's out across the 40. They're going to mark him back around 36-yard line where he went out of bounds. A nice individual effort there, Jim.
Oh, that was. He came to the left, and that avenue wasn't open, and he got away there when the door was closed and kind of made it over to the opposing sideline and got him a respectable run back. So Tigers will take over at the 35 and need to get something solid going here, and certainly no turnovers.
This is when Joe Drossix, the senior quarterback's got to go in and say, hey, guys, we got to work as a full unit right here, all 11 bodies. Now let's put it together and go. Here's a pitch out to Zeider around the left side. Zeider cuts it back through the middle, out to across the 45-yard line, out to about the 48. It's a first down for the Tigers. And maybe Joe Drossix did just that, went in and told him, hey, we've played, let these guys play with us long enough. Now let's get the business done.
No question. Offensive line executed very well there. I kind of saw a couple backers not staying home for the Indians there too. So the defense maybe that got them to certain positions maybe is going to hurt them in the long run. But nice gainer.
Drossix under center. Got Smith, both Smiths. Here's Cam with the carry. Out across the midfield stripe, out across the 45 as he bowls his way down. Boy, he's explosive and gets the ball inside the 45 down to the 44 of Wauseon, where it's 2nd down and 2.
Glenn, that handoff was so quick, I hardly saw it. Did he hand the ball off with his left hand there while going right? That play just developed so quickly there, and Cam Smith with that explosive first step, nice gainer.
Here we go, 2nd down and 2 for the Tigers. Ball on the 44, 3:44 remain. Oh, there's another fumble, and I think the Tigers got back on this one. Here they are again. They've got the linebacker firing through untouched, and he's hit when he's handing the ball off. Somebody's missing a blocking assignment. That Mike Fogarty's been in there several times, Jim. Just shooting through there in that gap, and somebody's missing an assignment.
Well, it's hard to define your assignment, Glenn. Those linebackers shooting like that, when they go up to the line of scrimmage, the line figures they know who they're supposed to block and how that's supposed to go, but just doesn't shake out that way. And Wauseon had a real chance for a big turnover there as that ball was loose.
Super effort.
long, and it'll bounce every which ways. And we've seen that happen several times tonight. And even a team that appears to be outmatched, if they get the turnovers or the breaks, if you will, they go back to the first half where a couple of those passes for big yards for Wauseon really should have been either intercepted or what have you. Anyway, here we go on the Tigers again.
Here we go. We got Zyder and Sam Smith in the backfield. Oh, just about had him jumping there. Zyder's the ball carrier, gets ahead out to about the 42-yard line. He's going to be very close to another Tiger first down. Close enough for a measurement. Yeah, we got timeout for a measurement. They moved the ball around a lot there on the spot. They should have left it set if they're going to do a measurement. The Tigers, if they are short, are going to be faced with a fourth down.
Just eyeballing, it looks like it's maybe going to be just a little short, but I would say we're in four down territory, I would think, in order to keep ball control here, Glenn. If it's that close, I would think the Tigers would try to squeeze out that needed distance.
They got it. They got it by the nose of the football, even after the spot. And so the Tigers, with a sigh of relief there, with 3 minutes remaining in the ball game, still have the ball, and they're going to be on the 42-yard line, first down and 10. It's Fogarty that has had a tremendous game, and yet another sophomore for these Indians. What a young ball team, and they just unbelievable. There's not too many seniors as you go down this roster, and they've got a nice ball team to look ahead for the future. Tigers come up. Zyder and Sam Smith in the backfield. You got Atkinson in the wing. Double tight end. Atkinson in motion. There's a handoff. Sam Smith off the right side. He breaks one tackle. He's off to the races. He's got one man to beat. He's down inside the 10 and taken out of bounds at about like it appeared that he got inside the 10. Looks like he's right on the 10-yard line. We're going to call a 1st and 10 just outside the 10-yard line. So the Tigers are going to have a 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Big play capability there shines once again. There was a nice crack over there, and he was picking them up and putting them down in a hurry, Glenn. Tiger fans are very happy with that, and first down on almost 10-yard line.
Here we go. You got the Smith brothers in the backfield. Here comes Atkinson in motion. There's handoff right up the middle, and they're there to stuff that. Cam Smith, the ball carrier. Not much happening on that one as they saw that one coming. Well, you know, all the attention was played on the middle of the field there. A nice little fake and rollout, and you had Atkinson down here wide open on the left side. Be interesting to see if anybody picked that up on top, and they do a little rollout. Wauseon with a timeout here. With 2:24 remaining. Tigers holding on to a 6-point lead. Second down, 12 to go. Ball on the 13-yard line.
I think the Tigers would like to see that clock move as much as possible, and they'd like to, of course, hang up a touchdown on this possession here. So Tigers in the driver's seat at this point, but certainly don't want any change on Lady Luck's influence. We don't want any turnovers now, but a good game. The Wauseon Indians have fought hard every step of the way, and just a good contest between these two quality NWOL schools, Glenn.
I'm going to help Rex out. I'm going to call this next one here for him, Jim. You remember you go down to this touchdown pass that they had to Andy Silvis, the tight end. They just released him right off. Drosic took 2 steps and put the ball in the air, and it wasn't even close. So see if the Tigers do something here. Look how the Indians are packing them in again. And here comes Atkinson in motion. This is what I saw earlier. There's the fake. He keeps the ball, trying to do the bootleg, and there's nothing there. There you're going to get the late hit right there. You're going to get a late hit or a face mask. 81 came up awfully late there, and there's a flag thrown right in his direction. Yep, you're going to see a face mask here on Wauseon. That's a break for the Tigers.
Yeah, that is. That'll give them a fresh set of downs, I believe. Won't it, Glenn?
It might just be they're going to get it.
Well, at any rate, Indians had that well defensed and had plenty of people there putting pressure on the quarterback and had him stopped for a good loss. But face mask is an unofficial advantage, and you can't do that, and thus the play will go down. But it appears to be second down.
Yeah, they'll play it over. They'll take the mark off the penalty, and they'll play the down over. Second down and 8. Second down and 9. Two back set. Here comes Atkinson in motion again. Straight ahead is Jurasic on the keeper. Takes the ball down inside the 10. Timeout Wauseon with 2:02 remaining.
Glenn, I see Wauseon taking a timeout, and those timeouts have to be evaporating. I'm not keeping track, but I know the officials are. But at any rate, they're beginning to burn what they have. At the ball setting on about the 7-yard line, 7.5-yard line, and Tigers in possession here with a third down. But what a good high school football struggle right here in this particular area, and fans loving it. Nobody moving yet. Band still fired up. Cheerleaders working hard, and it's just football at its best.
Yeah, it is, Jim. That $3.50 ticket, they're getting their money's worth once again tonight. The Tigers are just working on that clock. I think that that's 2 timeouts I know of that Wauseon has used, so they may have one remaining, unless they had one in there that I didn't catch earlier. But they want to try to save some time on the clock and force the Tigers turn the ball over to them and have a little bit of time. But now the Tigers are faced with third down and 7. The ball rests on the 8-yard line, 7.5-yard line.
Glenn, with the positioning on the left hash mark, you'd think they have plenty of room on the wide side or maybe a little pass over there in the flat.
I don't know if he wants to put it up here. I think he's going to run the ball. Here goes Zeider. Oh, geez, Zeider's got the ball. Oh, he's going to overthrow him. They pitched the ball to Zeider on the right side. He overthrew Jesse Smith, the intended receiver. And there was no chance for Jesse to go up and get that one. It appears that the Tigers are going to attempt a field goal right here.
You know, going back to that pass that didn't work, I think if Ryan could have been warmed up a little bit, he might have been a little more accurate with his throw. But you think of how cold it is now, and well, as the World Series comes into play, those pitchers got to be in the bullpen for a while, loosening up their arm. And here Ryan just takes the ball cold and cranks it out there. And anyway, didn't make connection, but they are lined up for a field goal, Glenn.
This will be a 25-yard attempt from the left hash. High snap, gets it set, gets it up, and no good. Pushes it to the left, never got the angle on it. Zeider did a super job of getting the ball down on the high snap, but the kick goes wide left, and there's still time to play with 1:53 remaining. And Tigers going to have to come up with big defense, Jim.
Yeah, they do, and I thought that field goal might go from our angle. I thought maybe that was through, but again, as you say, the high snap, the setter, Ryan Zeider, had to reach up over his head and pull that ball down, and that did spoil the timing a little bit, but Indians fired up with 1:53 minutes to go.
Fans are on their feet on the Wauseon side. Moore drops back, gets the pass off and incomplete, which will stop the clock. He had plenty of protection back there. He had 3 linemen right in front of him blocking. Spangler is the only one really getting any heat. This is where I do have Spangler and Bush in there. Ziegler up front. I think Davis just went in, so they do have some good speed up front. Sattler's in at the nose. Moore drops straight back. No pressure. Gets the ball up. It's a wounded duck. You got to turn and find it. Once again, the defensive back was lost on where the ball was, and the man ran out of bounds, and they did miss an interference call again as the receiver pushed the defensive back out of the way.
Yeah, I don't know how they can miss that. There's a lot of shoving. Now, we're a long ways away from the play, but they're just shoving each other all over the place, and if that isn't interference of some sort, I can't figure it out. But anyway, out of bounds on that, so they're bringing her back to the line of scrimmage. It's now a 3rd down and 10 with the ball on the 20.
McClure goes into the ball game for Bush. There's a change of speed. Like we were talking earlier, get some speed on this defensive line and try to get some heat to that quarterback one way or another. McClure being one of the faster ball players on the team. Moore drops straight back. Here comes some heat through the middle. They got a screen set up this side. And they oh, nice tackle. Excellent tackle. Seth Atkinson comes up and makes the tackle. Excellent tackle on the play. Clock is running.